This time I'd like to call the April 19th, 2011 Anderson County Council meeting to order. Welcome everyone here. At this time, I'd like to ask Councilman Eddie Moore if he'd lead us in invocation and pledge allegiance. Mr. Moore.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, please bless each and every one of us as we go about our business, and hopefully that all of us will do it in a Christian fashion. Also pray for our troops that are overseas and pray for their families in the hard times that they're having, and bring each and every one of them safely back home soon. In your most gracious heavenly name, amen.
Flag. United States of America. To the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all.
This time, moving on to item number 3, approval of the minutes. Are there any changes or corrections to be made to the last council meeting's minutes, April 5th? Hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion, Mr. Moore, to accept the minutes as presented. Have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Allen. All in favor of the motion, show of hands. Opposed, like sign, so the motion carries unanimously. This time, I'd like to ask and have unanimous consent on the item number 5. I've been informed we need additional 10 minutes for that. With any objections, given a total of 25 minutes instead of the original 15. Any objection? Item number 5. It'll be a report from First Quality, Mr. Burns.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Moore, approve that.
Second.
Second, Mr. Allen. All in favor of the motion, show of hands. Opposed, like sign, so the motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Now moving on to item number 4, citizens' comments. Mr. Pitts.
Mr. Chairman, first up tonight's Mark Powell.
Powell. Please state your name, keep matters on the agenda items, and address the chair, please. Name and district.
Mark Powell, District 7. Oh, boy, this thing's loud. Oh, just want to commend you on the ordinances that you're putting forth tonight for second reading. The rec fund, having to know who it's going to, what purpose it's going to be used for. I think you pretty well can put a good roof over that, and you won't need no more roofs. I'd also like to say concerning the information for people who are on committees, I do think it's a wonderful thing to have that kind of information set forth. Swimming pool, I think everyone knows. Plug has been pulled from it. I'm looking forward to hearing that solidified, hopefully by the rest of the council. Broadway Lake dredging. Got a cup, and it's full of water. A big rain comes, it's going to hold no more water. You can dig the hole 1,000 foot deep, and whatever water's in it before the rain comes, it does not hold any more water. A bowl holds what a bowl holds. It would be nice for Broadway Lake to be deeper. It would be nice not to have sandbars. But please do not misunderstand, by making a bowl deeper, it will hold more rainwater. The lake stays full at capacity. If you make it deeper, it will not hold any additional rainwater from a safety standpoint. The swap of land on Broadway Lake, where we're taking a little piece of land that's close to our land and giving somebody land that used to have a house on it, it's not large enough to have a septic tank. It does not qualify for that. If you need to do anything, it's like a $12,000 deal. That lot's worth more than $12,000 if it can have a septic tank and be sold on the open market. That's a bad deal. I wish I would reconsider that and not pass through with that. I appreciate the work you guys do, especially on pulling the plug on a swimming pool. Thank you.
Elizabeth Thant, District 3. I ditto what Mr. Powell said. I'm just so appreciative of what the council has been doing the last couple of months and all the meetings that you've had on finance and budget and really looking at things instead of just glossing over and voting. I too am glad to see these ordinances that are proposed. particularly the one for recreation money. I get the packet, so I have the actual report that most of you all do not see, where it has down at the bottom the administrator's report, transfers, and so forth. I have the actual report. And for District 6, which is now Mr. Waters' district, prior to him coming on in January, there was $25,000 in the budget for recreation, $5,000 more for accommodations fee, and $13,000 that was brought forward from the year prior. The former council person spent all but about $4,000. That's all he left Mr. Waters to deal with for 1/2 of a year. I think that's really cheesy. It's selfish. And not only that, the majority of the money that he did give was for an organization in which he is a prime member and might have even been president at that time. It was for the Convention Visitors Bureau, which was really the Confederate Veterans thing out at the Civic Center. It was for the Civic Center rent for that same thing. And then he gave money for the Sons of Confederate Veterans, $4,500 for that. Right in one fell swoop, he gave about $15,000 to an organization that he's a member of. That's wrong. When you give money from your recreational account, you ought not to have any alliance to it, and you should be a member of any board to it, and you should not be able to get any kickback as far as votes or anything else from it. So I applaud this this ordinance. I also believe that the one on the travel is good. There should not be any one of you up there who is any better, any more qualified, or should get any more money for travel. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pitts. Moving on to item number 5, report from First Quality. Mr. Burns.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Burris Nelson will make some introductions, and then we will have an information session from First Quality.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, Mr. Burns, Mr. Pitts, Ms. Edelman, we'd like to thank you for allowing us time to have this presentation of First Quality Tissue. As you know, there have been announcements in South Carolina that did not materialize. Fortunately, Anderson County has been blessed, and we've had many projects that were real, that delivered as they promised. Delivered jobs, they delivered capital investment as promised, and delivered, most of the time, more than promised. First Quality is another great example of just that, of delivering more than they promised. Just in October of this past year of 2010, they began grading, and today they have more than 1 million square feet of structural steel in the air, roof, walls, poured concrete floor. It's amazing. It looks like it's falling out of the sky. But I'm starting to steal these guys' thunder, and if you would allow me, I'd like to introduce Jim Viana, who will present first, and they have a PowerPoint, and then he'll be followed by Dean Chatterton, and Dean is an environmental guy who will be located at the plant here. Jim Viana.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the opportunity to give you a brief update on First Quality's new facility in Anderson. I had an opportunity to talk to a group of people about a year ago, and we made some commitments, and we want to show you what we're doing to fulfill those commitments. But before I do that, I'd like to give you a little bit of history of First Quality. First Quality is a private company, really strongly focuses on integrity and quality. So much so that the name First Quality was actually developed before any manufacturing facility. Quality is really important to us. We like to go into a community and become part of it and improve the community. For the past 21 years, we've been doing that. We've been developing manufacturing companies. We created 7 manufacturing companies in central Pennsylvania as an example of one way we could improve the area. When First Quality Tissue went into Clinton County in central Pennsylvania, the unemployment rate was 9.7%. It dropped to 5.7%. And we believe that we were clearly a part of that success. We've added nearly 2,600 jobs to Pennsylvania so far. And I could tell you that First Quality does a better job than most companies I've ever worked with in spending money locally. That payroll turns over locally, I really believe, better than the average company. So the 2,600 is direct jobs. There are many, many indirect jobs that are associated with First Quality. This is an aerial photograph of the first facility that First Quality started. And if you look at this building right here, that was First Quality Products. It's in an industrial park. Most of these buildings didn't exist. First Quality Products manufactures adult incontinence products. Now, they quickly outgrew this facility, and First Quality Products expanded into this area here. And they continue to expand today. The back of the diaper is a non-woven plastic sheet. First Quality wanted to improve their vertical integration and went to manufacturing their own non-woven sheet. They developed First Quality Non-Wovens. This is a small non-woven line here. So that was the second company. Then they went to First Quality Hygienic that produces feminine hygiene products. That's this building here. And then First Quality expanded to New Tech Disposables, where they manufacture wipes, wet and dry wipes. Now, this industrial park didn't have much room for expansion, and the non-woven lines needed to expand. So they went down the road to Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and built 6 more non-woven lines. They're doing very well, so much so that this facility actually exports product to China, which I think is incredible these days. In another county in central Pennsylvania, there was an existing industrial park with some land available. First Quality purchased this property and put up a state-of-the-art diaper manufacturing facility. It's over 1 million square feet, and an exact duplicate of this plant is also being planned. It will be built soon in Macon, Georgia. In Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, which was the First Quality Tissue facility, First Quality purchased an old abandoned site, a brownfield. And you could see there's lots of buildings scattered around, typical of an old industrial facility. There was nothing going on here. First Quality took that land and put in a state-of-the-art, world-class tissue manufacturing facility. And they really showed that they were in it for the long haul. This facility was the land was within a 500-year floodplain, above the 100-year floodplain, but within the 500-year floodplain. They actually brought in material to raise it above that level. A big undertaking. All the old buildings were torn down. The asbestos was removed. The bulk of the building, the brick and the steel, was recycled. And now we have a world-class facility. One thing I want to point out is we have a residential area right adjacent to the property. You can see houses all along here. This picture was taken when the plant was operating. You don't see smoke. You don't smell anything from the plant. There's no pulping that goes on. The neighbors like to have us around. You could see that there's different ponds, and I could tell you that they're loaded with fish. We have migratory birds land in there. They must feast with all the fish in there. There are deer all over the site. And again, I think the biggest issue here is the neighbors are right next door. If I got one complaint from the town, it was, why can't you expand here? I think if you call the towns that we're in now, that would probably be the best verification that First Quality does a good job. My opinion is there is not a better tissue manufacturing facility in the world today. Now, we purchased some property in Anderson County. And you could see that there was an old facility here. First Quality has plans to completely tear those down and build up another, probably better tissue manufacturing facility. And I'd like to introduce Dean to be able to give you an idea of what the plans are for the future.
Thank you, Jim, and it's also my pleasure to address you ladies and gentlemen this afternoon and talk about this wonderful opportunity that we've created here in Anderson. Here's a look at the plant as it is being constructed. This was taken about 3 weeks ago, so we've got even a little bit more work done. We'll see, this area is the new tissue manufacturing plant. The area over here to the right is the former Shaw facility, which we are in the process right now of removing all of the asbestos, and we will remove those buildings and push them out of the way so that it gives us an opportunity for expansion and future growth at this same site. The future tissue machine 1 here is coming up. Another one will sit over in this location. Our wastewater treatment, state-of-the-art wastewater treatment system will be here in this area. And as you can see, this is Highway 29 down this side and Masters Boulevard up here at the top. So we're well on our way to bringing up that facility and beginning to actually manufacture some product here in Anderson County. We're really excited about that. At completion, if you were to stand at the corner of Masters Boulevard and Highway 29, this is an artist's rendering of what our plant will look like very soon when it's complete. Jim talked about the new jobs for Pennsylvania. Let's talk about today in Anderson County. As of this week, our construction activities are employing 448 construction workers, and we anticipate a peak employment of about 550 workers on site for the construction activities. Already we have created 126 permanent jobs, and remember, we have not created 1 pound of product yet, but we've created those jobs from a very exciting and invigorating workforce. Of the people that you have available here in Anderson County to help us and work with us are just amazing people. We're very proud and happy to have them working with us. And we're spending time with them, introducing them to tissue making and introducing them to the values of the First Quality family, how we do our business. We're anticipating that by year end, that number will go up to 350 just this year alone. Future growth with the capability of that site and the potential for expansion and product needs, we can envision up to 1,000 jobs over the next 10 years right at that site under First Quality's banner. First Quality, as Jim mentioned, we utilize the services of local businesses as much as possible, and that indirectly creates additional jobs and additional revenue throughout Anderson County. We've noticed some other retail sites are starting to build down near us, and there's some other activities going on that we're happy to have good neighbors and build a strong community and partner with you. We believe in investing in the future. As Jim mentioned, we've got state-of-the-art facilities, and that's what we're building here. We're investing in the latest technology for paper making, as well as for our wastewater treatment and air quality equipment. It's state-of-the-art, latest technology. We invest in our people through training. As I mentioned, we're here at this point, we've already hired 126, some of those since January, and we've been training them all during this time, and we'll continue to until mid-year when we start our production. Our business plan is to make quality products at a fair price, and that keeps us competitive and growing. And that's very, very important. As I'm sure I don't need to remind everyone that if you don't stay competitive, you end up closing. But our goal is to keep growing, and we believe this provides long-term and dependable employment for Anderson County, and we're proud to be a part of your community and to partner with you over the long haul. We believe we're a good neighbor. As Jim mentioned, it's a very clean operation that we're running. We know that the water that goes into Genesee Creek is very important, and we know our effluent is going to be, it's cleaner than the water that we're going to use from Lake Hartwell. We're very confident in that. We're very careful about our processes to not have issues with smell, odor, or smoke or anything like that. We do not create the odor or noise problems. And we're going to reuse our incoming water internally. Up to 50 times the water is reused as a measure of conservation. Jim was mentioning a world-class state-of-the-art plant. This is one of the concepts in reducing your energy costs and your environmental impact, having that capability built in from day one. And we're going to recycle nearly everything that we can and generate very little waste. We, on startup, are developing plans for every waste stream. We have a sister plant where we know every bit of waste that they produce, so it's not a hard task to understand volumes and what those things are, and to find the right partners in this community that can help us to recycle those pieces. When we talk about our water supply and discharge, we do want to make it clear we're expected at full site use to be up around 2.4 million gallons per day. That could be by the end of 2012. I know there's been some other numbers banded around, but that's the real number at maximum capacity coming to our plant. The water is being supplied from Lake Hartwell. Approximately 50% of the water is evaporated. When we're making tissue product to dry that, it does become evaporated. The remaining 50% is cleaned and clarified and returned to the Savannah River Basin. We really are very complimentary and appreciative of the coordination and support and the guidance that we've received from South Carolina DHEC along with Anderson County staff in helping us to get the proper approvals and set up the proper permits to not only construct this plant but also to operate it long term. We've got stormwater permits for construction. We've got an air quality and water discharge permits from DHEC in Columbia. And we're working with DHEC to redevelop the site through their brownfield program. There were some issues on the site from previous owners, and we've committed to take that on and clean up the entire site. It's important for us to be a responsible corporate citizen, and we're committed to the Anderson County community and the investment in the upstate of South Carolina. Safety and environmental protection are core values at First Quality. And you may hear other companies that talk the talk, but we walk the walk on both of those. And again, it's our pleasure to be here with you and to bring you an update on how we're fulfilling our commitments that we talked about last year and bringing the jobs to your community. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all coming and presenting that to us tonight, and welcome y'all to Anderson County, and look forward to many years of working together. And like I said, really do appreciate y'all being here. Into the council, Ms. Wilson.
Welcome, and I wanted to thank y'all for considering Anderson County. We took a tour recently, and the stewardship and the good thrift that this company seems to engage is so impressive. And another thing that gives me a great deal of heart concerning your location here is that you're a family-owned company. You're not necessarily subject to the whims of shareholders and short-term financial concerns. So it's been my observation over the years that a family-owned company is in for the long haul, and it looks like y'all demonstrated that already. So thank you for investing here.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Anyone else? Again, thank y'all, and again, welcome y'all to the Anderson family. Thank y'all very much.
Just a quick comment on that. I completely agree with you. I could tell you at First Quality, long-term planning isn't the next quarter or the next year. It's what they're going to hand on to the next generation. I've seen that time and time again.
Thank you again.
Thank you
Thank
very
y'all
much.
so much.
Thank you.
This time we'll be moving on to item number 6, resolutions, pride awards, and proclamations. We'll be going to 6A, resolution R2011-011. Mr. Crowder.
Thank you, Chairman Dunn. It certainly is a pleasure and a privilege for me to be able to offer this resolution on behalf of Anderson County Council and also the citizens of Anderson County. It's not often that we have this rare opportunity to recognize a team that's gone to the Big 8 finals, and so I will read this resolution. A resolution to honor the Anderson University Trojan men's basketball team for capturing the 2011 NCAA Tournament Southeast Regional Championship and the opportunity to compete in the NCAA Division II Elite 8, and to recognize head coach Jason Taylor for leading the team to their unparalleled 21-12 season during Anderson University's centennial celebration and all matters related thereto. Whereas 7th-seeded Anderson University Trojans men's basketball team capped off its second consecutive NCAA tournament appearance by becoming the first team from the state of South Carolina since 1999 to claim a regional championship, and the second South Atlantic Coast Conference school ever to earn a trip to the NCAA Division II Elite 8. And whereas Anderson University won their first ever appearance in the Elite 8 by winning 3 games in 4 days over the number 1, number 2, and number 3 seeded teams in the Southeast Regional in Augusta, Georgia. The Trojans defeated the number 1 seed Augusta State in overtime in the regional final, marking the first time Augusta State had been beaten on their own home court in 49 games, and whereas the Trojans carried over their unparalleled success from last season as Anderson made its second consecutive appearance in the NCAA tournament after winning a school record of 24 games during the 2009-2010 season, and whereas head coach Jason Taylor was the youngest coach to guide a men's basketball to the NCAA tournament in either Division I or Division II in 2010. And whereas Anderson's bid to continue its Cinderella run through the 2011 NCAA tournament and reach the Final Four fell just shy after having defeated 10th-ranked Lincoln Memorial and 3rd-ranked Augusta State en route to the school's first ever Southeast Regional title in mid-March. And whereas with a final record of 21-12, Anderson University's Trojans men's basketball team recorded the second highest win total in the school history, behind just last season's school record. The Trojans were also the first squad in the school's history to combine 3 consecutive winning seasons, along with 4 straight years of finishing over 500 or better in the league's regular season schedule. And whereas junior guard Nick True earned the NCAA Elite 88 award for men's basketball, which is presented to the student athlete with the highest cumulative grade point average participating at the finals site for each of the NCAA's 88 championship. The native of Charlotte, North Carolina, is majoring in kinesiology and carries a 3.94 grade point average. He was also named the South Atlantic Conference Scholar Athlete for men's basketball, and also earned Capital One Academic All-District 3 men's basketball second team honors. And whereas the senior guard Brandon Young and freshman guard Denzel Jones earned the NCAA Southeast Regional All-Tournament accolades and were named to the South Atlantic Conference first team, while senior Kevis Corwell earned second team All-SAC honors. And whereas the Anderson County wishes to honor the 2011 Anderson University Trojans men's basketball team coaches and assistants, Trey Britton, Kevis Cornwell, Tyrell McDowell, Andrew Driver, Ashkara Ernstine, Quentin Baines, Jeffrey Hunter, DJ McGowan, Kyle Sledge, Jason Taylor head coach, William Montz assistant coach, Nick Truell, Brandon Young, Denzel Jones, Chris Ross, Taylor Shugart, Stephen Cobb, Lamar Jack, Joel Lamb, Jerome Connie, manager, Ryan Hilburn, assistant coach, and David Bentley, manager. Now whereas it is hereby resolved by the Anderson County Council, the Anderson County Council commends the 2001 Anderson University Trojan men's basketball team and all those who contribute to their outstanding success for marking the centennial of Anderson University with a historic and unparalleled basketball season. This resolution shall take effect and be in force immediately upon enactment, resolved in meeting duly assembled this 19th day of April 2011. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to this effect.
Second.
Have a motion, Mr. Crowder, and a second, Ms. Wilson. Any discussion? Hearing all in favor of the motion, show of hands. Opposed, like sign, so the motion carries unanimously. Mr. Crowder?
Mr. Chairman, I would like for my fellow colleague council members to join me at the podium area and also the team from Anderson University to give the awards. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll ask to be excused, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Down because of a personal situation.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.